The fourth grade class learned that Braille is the key to understanding for those who are blind or visually impaired. Louis Braille created a system of raised dots in a 6-cell pattern that allows blind people to communicate.
We're now going to share with you the life of Louis Braille and how his language improved lives by allowing those who are blind and those who can see to communicate with and understand one another.
Hi, I'm Maria. Today I'm going to be teaching you about Louis Braille's life. Louis Braille invented a system of raised dots that enables blind people to read and write. Louis Braille was born January 4th, 1809. One day, Louis was playing with an awl, which caused him to be blind. When Louis was a young teen, he was offered a scholarship to the Royal Institute for Blind Youth. One day, a man named Charles Barbier came to the Royal Institute and did a presentation on his night writing. Louis started changing it. It took him 3 years to perfect. His classmates loved it and started using it too. When he graduated, he became a teacher at the Royal Institute. Louis developed tuberculosis in 1835. Louis passed in 1852, but his language kept going. Louis and his Braille have impacted the world in a positive way. So my timeline has most of the interesting and main key details about his life. I have an awl, which caused him to be blind, and also, very interestingly, helped him make the Braille alphabet. I have the Braille alphabet, a picture of Louis, some fun facts, which are a noblewoman paid for Louis' education. Louis' school used to be a jail, and Louis learned to play the piano and the organ.
Hello, I'm a 4th grade student, and today I'm going to teach you about the challenges for the blind. On my board, I have listed pros and cons blind people deal with every day, including transportation and daily activities.
Hi, I'm Mary, and I'm going to be talking about before Braille. Before blind people used Braille, they used raised letters and night writing. At the Royal Institute for Blind Youth in Paris, Valentine Houillet used embossed plates and wet paper to produce the first tactile touch-and-feel text in 1786. Charles Barbier was an officer in Napoleon's army who invented a system of raised dots to help armies communicate in the dark. He realized that night writing could be helpful to soldiers injured in war and others with visual impairments. Although raised letters and night writing were good innovations, they were still difficult to read because they were big and only so much could fit under a little boy's finger. Raised letters were hard to read because it was hard not to confuse them with other letters. Raised letters were big, and only a few sentences could fit on a page, and only a few pages were in a book. Louis Braille knew that night writing and raised letters worked a little for the blind, but he knew that he had to make something that all blind people and children would know and learn. So this is Louis Braille, and this is Charles Barbier, and this is night writing, and this is raised letters.
Hello, my name is Salvador, and I am going to teach you about the Braille alphabet. The language of Braille helped the blind people. Louis Braille modified a military system called night writing to create his alphabet. Louis Braille's alphabet is made out of 6 dots for every letter, number, and symbol. You can feel the alphabet with your fingertip. You can find Braille in restaurants and elevators. The alphabet made it easier to read for the blind. This is the alphabet from A to Z. Here is a sign of a restroom, an elevator sign, and elevator buttons with Braille.
Hi, I'm Ava, and today I'm going to be teaching about technology changes with Braille. Braille is a way for the blind to get education. A brailler is basically a typewriter, but for the blind. Another cool thing about Braille technology, it is called the Braille for Feet. It's basically a sidewalk, but for the blind, so they don't just bump into things. So then on this side, we have a timeline. So in 1951, a brailler came out. Then the Braille for Feet came out in 1961. A Braille computer came out in 1967. And in 2015, a Braille printer came out. Then over on this side, we see these beautiful flowers, and they're sadly still seeing just blackness and darkness. And that is technology changes.